I'm gonna wait for more people. All right, so I always struggle when I try to do YouTube Live because it's not like Facebook and Instagram Live, and the messages are just gonna be. So I'm trying to do it on my laptop as well, so I can catch as many messages as possible. Hello, everyone who's saying hi so far. What's up? Trust self. Oh my gosh, these things like go away so fast. Had to drop everything to get on here. Thank you for joining me. What's up, you guys? What's up? Tell me where you are coming from. Where are you currently at in the United States, in the world? I want to know. If you don't know, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So go ahead and comment where you are. We got Indianapolis. Oh, wait, slow down. Finally get to see you live from LA. Yes, I was just out there earlier this summer. Brooklyn, Spain? No way. Seattle, yeah, I got family out there. Your hometown, I miss you at Arrow's event. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh yeah, the event that I spoke at with Arrow, great guy, Phoenix. Central Texas, Dallas, Georgia. Okay, we're not too far away from each other. Atlanta, Atlanta, Atlanta. I love it. Y'all better represent. Okay, so I did see a question amongst all the cities. So I guess Sarah Kennedy wants to jump right into it. Do you approach fires at foreclosure auctions? If so, what is your method? Like a fire damage or when am I coming to Vegas? That's a great question. Oh wow. Okay, enjoy work, Lorenzo. Buyers. Okay, Sarah. How do you said do I approach buyers at the foreclosure auction? Yeah, if I do go to the auction, that's the only reason I'm there is to find cash buyers. I'm not at the point where I'm ready to play ball with the big boys and start bidding on properties myself. So I only go there to find cash buyers. I actually do have an entire video on that. I like show you guys. I'm at the auction live one Tuesday here in Georgia because it's the first Tuesday of every month here in Georgia. So this video is maybe like I think it was last year when I made it and uploaded it. But yeah, I do go to approach buyers at the auction. You know who a buyer is because they have an auction number, and you actually see them bidding when it comes time to have the properties called out. So I approach everyone I see with a number, the people who won a bid and even the people who lost a bid, just because you have to have cash right then and there. So I know they're a cash buyer. I approach them, get their contact information, give them my business card, and I find out what it is that they're looking for. Obviously, if you are at a certain county and you met them, then you can bet that they are buying in that county. So I hope that answers your question. Da, 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 da. Dara isn't necessary to pay for a title search for each property that is put under contract. Um, so I don't do that. The only time I get a title search is when the property is actually going to close. I live in an attorney state, so we use closing attorneys, but obviously those closing attorneys use third-party title companies to run title searches. And I've never run into an issue with it, but I do know an investor here who got burned once, and so from his experience, he always does, I think, 2 title searches. Because even though you trust an attorney and you trust that they're gonna do what's right, whatever attorney he used kind of missed something pretty major in the title, in the chain of title. and so that kind of cost him pretty big on that deal. But yeah, so that's his experience. I don't know too many other people. I personally do not, like I said, do an extra title search before the property goes to closing. I just rely on the attorney, and that's why you always, if you are going to buy a property, you always, 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 always want to get title insurance to avoid any kind of issues. Do you recommend virtual wholesaling? I don't not recommend it. I mean, I don't personally. I mean, I guess in a way, I virtually wholesale, and the only reason I say that is because there's a lot of properties that I've closed on that I've never even seen, and they're here in Georgia, like they're here in Atlanta, but I just haven't gone to see them. It's like so I haven't seen everything, so I'm sure I can do that exact same thing in a different market. So a lot of people, I guess, if they're in very competitive or difficult markets, they look to go elsewhere and wholesale virtually. So I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You would just have to take the extra precautionary step to make sure you trust whoever you have in that market. So you obviously want to reach out to people and network with people in that market and have boots on the ground, and then trust those people. I take that back. I did. I'm in Atlanta, and there's a city in Georgia called Macon, which is like maybe 2 hours away, which is way out of my original farm zone. But I have started doing marketing and deals in Macon, Georgia. So I connected with a whole, like the top wholesalers in Macon. And so from there, yes, I guess I will say I have virtually wholesaled. So I would have deals and they would go out for me and go look at, take pictures just to prove that it's a real, actual property. So yes, I have done virtual wholesaling, but it's within the state of Georgia. So that's why I guess I didn't think of it like that. But yeah, I mean, people are pretty successful with virtual wholesaling. I've just not done outside of Georgia. You're welcome. Which closing attorney do you use? I use Harlan and Associates, but I want to keep my options open. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you're wholesaling and not having to incur closing costs, then that wouldn't really be a reason to switch attorneys. But I use Halpern and Lyman, and one of the reasons I don't like to ever endorse, because that's a very common question that I get on a lot of my videos. And just so you know, guys, I do read like 90% of the comments that I get, and try to respond to like, comment, reply, whatever, to most of the comments that I get. But I always, 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 either my DMs or my comments on my videos, always get people asking me which attorneys I recommend, which is nothing wrong with it. Like if it's something off to the side and not like public like this, I will tell you each and every person I use. But in a form like this, I just rather, it's like, I'm not sponsored by anybody. If they're great, I don't have any problem referring you to anybody who, I put my stamp of approval on. But yeah, and if I tell you one and not all of them, I feel like I'm not trying to be picky or like choose one over the other. Everyone I use is great, and I use different people for different things. Like I just closed on a subject to deal on yesterday. I closed on it yesterday, and I use a specific attorney here for subject to deals because although there are a lot of investor-friendly attorneys here in Atlanta, I know specifically the very first subject to deal I ever did, I wanted to do a lease option on it. And so I was very upfront and honest with the attorney. I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Is it possible? Can you help me do it? And he was like, no, we don't do that in my office. Like, it's just too much risk. So I was like, okay, well, let me find who else does. So the person who closed my very first subject to deal, I just gone back to them, for future deals. But I'm like you, I'm always looking for open for new people too, just because, kind of want to work with the best of the best. What do you usually tell sellers your part of the deal is so you don't scare them away? What do you usually tell sellers your part of the deal is? I'm pretty transparent and open and honest with every seller. And I think it's really the delivery, the way you say it, and not necessarily what you say, because, I let them know that I represent or I work for a real estate investing company, even though it's mine. They don't have to know that, or they can, like it doesn't matter which way or the other, but it depends on how I want to play it. But I work for a real estate investing company, and we have a lot of different means of acquiring properties, so they're not really fixated on me giving cash. So that's why I say that up front. We have a lot of different means and ways to acquire a property, just to solve whatever issue you may have, because no two homeowners are alike, so we don't want to put you in the same category as any other previous deal we've done. So not only that, we do partner with a lot of other investors here in the area. So we see lots of deals, and not everyone we can purchase ourselves. So because of that, we may connect you with another buyer of our, or another partner of ours, another investor of ours, who will actually take over and purchase the home from you. Something along those lines. And then if they get scared away, then you just really, the only thing about fear, I'm about to get deep with y'all real quick, but not really. But the thing about fear is just like, it's the unknown. So confused mind says no. So that means you have to educate them on exactly what you're doing. And it's not that difficult to say what you're doing. I mean, you are either going to buy it if you're a cash buyer, if you're a real cash buyer, or you're going to find somebody else who has cash who's going to buy it. Either way, their property's going to get sold, and whatever their problem is, you're going to solve. I wholesale the deal and making properties are cheap. Very, very cheap down there. Let's connect. Oh my gosh, I get making deals. And like I said, I need to have like legit boots on the ground down there. JC says, when we tell the seller that we are paying all closing costs, that means the attorney fee also. Yes, that includes the attorney's fee. What it doesn't include, and like I said, I actually just ran into this with my most recent subject to deal, which is very different than a regular cash transaction, because when you say you're paying closing costs, that is what it is. You're paying closing costs. Now, what happened with this deal is that there are customary costs at the closing that are borne by the seller, meaning they are the seller's responsibility, such as like the water bill, like the outstanding water bill, if there is any, and the taxes. They should be prorated, and your contract should say that the taxes will be prorated, meaning that if you didn't know, taxes on a property are paid annually, so once a year. So at whatever time during the year that you close on this property, there's remaining months in the year, unless it's the last day of the year. So you should not be responsible for the previous, if you didn't own the property from January till it's August now, then you shouldn't be responsible for those. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that there are some costs that the sellers have to incur. Your contract should state that, and your attorney or title company should be very knowledgeable and well-versed to know that as well. And I think that goes with any type of real estate. Like if it's a homeowner for the first-time home buyer, they should know that there are some things that the seller has to pay as far as closing costs. Now, when we tell them, hey, as an investor, I'm going to pay all the closing costs, we mean, like you said, the attorney's fees, the title search, and things like that. But we're not paying your water bill unless we agree to pay your water bill. Do you think wholesalers tend to benefit or suffer from the oncoming recession? I think whoever is cash heavy will be the one to prosper. And wholesalers typically don't move with a lot of cash unless you are doing deals. And if you are doing a lot of deals, I would highly recommend that you stay liquid. So of course, reinvest your profit and things back into the business, but you just want to be able to have cash. And if you don't, like I said, if you're not the one purchasing the property as a wholesaler, having that cash or that capital is good for marketing purposes, because at that point, when properties are like dirt cheap or whatever, you want to be the person who is in the homeowner's face the most wins, like, because at that point people are going to have a problem and you're going to be the one to solve it. So I don't think that it would really affect wholesalers at all. If anything, the correction will help a lot, because these deals, I don't know about any market out there, but Atlanta, these deals are looking crazy inflated. Crazy. When am I doing more dance videos? Cinema Regal. You know what's so funny? The very first live Q&A I did, I didn't want it to focus just on real estate, but obviously this is the third live I've ever done, and so everybody obviously just asked me about real estate, so it's cool. But it's funny that you asked that about dance videos. I have so much content, so much non-real estate content, like so much. But I am creating a second channel, and I will do my absolute best to market that heavily, so that all of you here who may be interested in my life outside of real estate will go and subscribe to that channel. It's going to be dance, it's going to be travel, vlogs. It's gonna be vegan eats, and then I may throw in like beauty, like hair and things like that. But that's funny that you asked that. So they won't be up on this channel any longer because this, you know, real estate seems to be the bread and butter and the main audience for this channel. Any short sale deals you've done that was on the MLS? I've never done any short sale deals, honestly, actually. I actually stay away from those personally. G Lotus 222 says, a lot of the info I'm getting from vetted wholesalers, it seems like double closing is the safest, smoothest method to, it went away, to close. But I don't know. I keep stressing about this one. What do you think? Don't stress. Why are you stressing? Yeah, so it depends. Double closings are good for wholesalers. A lot of buyers prefer to just have a contract assigned to them because, well, for my buyers, because my contract has them pay both sets of closing costs. So obviously they want to avoid that and just say, hey, can you just assign it to me instead, whatever. But I don't see what there is to stress about. I don't want to ruin this. Damanat says how to get contracts for houses. I'm glad you asked. I actually have 5 contracts that I use in my personal business that I also have a purchase. So it's a package of 5, purchase and sale agreement, 2 of them, one for a buyer, one for a seller. They're very separate. They're very different, completely different language. I also have a JV agreement, so that's for you and another wholesaler who wants to co-wholesale a deal. I also have a termination agreement, so that's if you ever have to back out of a deal, you do need to put it in writing properly. And then I also have a JV, JV, purchase and sale, termination, and then one more that I can't think of right now. But there's 5 contracts, and if you look on literally any of my videos, I'll put it in the description box on this video too once it's up and running on the channel, but right now it's live, so I can't. But every single video of mine, I have that website, and it's actually tinyurl.com/REI contracts. tinyurl.com/REI contracts. What's up? Glad to see you. Fly E. Shuford. What's up? Camellia. Hey. Also, can I add you to my list of the cash buyer? Sure. Have you done any virtual deals? Where can I find a good contract for the buyer? Yeah, so if you guys are just now getting on, it's all good. Say what's up. Tell me where you're from. TKO Peanut says, have you done virtual deals? Somebody asked me that before, and I didn't realize that I was doing virtual deals, but yes, I have. They're in a city called Macon here in Georgia, which is why I didn't consider it virtual, but it is because I haven't seen the property or anything. So yeah, I have done virtual deals, and then I also just stated where you can get contracts from. Don't know if you were there to hear that, but tinyurl.com/REI contracts. Ooh, somebody just got their first deal on Monday. That's exciting. Congrats. Yes, congratulations. Okay, this is a lot, guys. I'm sorry. Hello. Okay. All right. So these things keep disappearing. All right. Thanks for helping. Do you have any tips on estimating repairs? Should I bring a contractor? Yes. If you can get a contractor to come out, bring one. But yeah, my tips on estimating repairs, I actually have a video breaking that down. I have a playlist, but one video actually tells you the dollar figures. And of course, those are prices for construction here in Georgia. But take that video and do exactly what I did. From that video, I had a house that we were flipping, and we were getting bids on. So different quotes from different contractors. I think I had maybe 5 to 7 different contractors. and I knew the scope of work that needed to be done. So I knew line item by line item. You know, I need the roof done. I need a new roof. I need a new this, new that, new windows, new doors, new floors. And so from there, I was able to, get an average cost for the renovation. So that's something you can do. Get some practice, maybe walking through vacant properties with a contractor, and offer them something of value. Don't necessarily waste people's time and things like that. Definitely know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, because contractors are notorious for, not being the most clean or honest people. Not everybody, obviously, but it's best that you know what you're talking about and you know what you want from them so that you can relay that information, because at the end of the day, if you hire a contractor, you are their boss. You have to tell them what to do. You have to tell them what you want. And not just because they're a contractor, you should not expect them to know what you want and things like that. So, yeah, you can definitely estimate repairs. The best way I will say to estimate repairs is with a contractor. And then just take that. If you do it once, maybe twice, take whatever they gave you and then get the price per square footage, and then be able to use that on any other property from there. So that'll be your template moving forward. And there's other ways too. You can ask rehabbers, like, hey, this is a great job you just did on this house. How much did it cost you? And about how much price per square footage did it cost you? What was the scope of the renovation? Was it a huge gut? Was it a cosmetic? And then you can kind of get a ballpark figure that way as far as estimating repairs. How do you close on virtual deals? You connect with people in whatever market you're in. Like I said earlier, I'd look for the top performing wholesalers in a certain market, reach out to them, and then I just leverage, their resources. So obviously, if they're a top performer, they know closing attorneys, or they know title companies, or whatever your state is. So that's pretty much the biggest hurdle is finding a reputable closing attorney or title company to close a deal. So if you have a reputable wholesaler who's doing deals, then they already have that tied to them, hopefully. They also have cash buyers tied to them, hopefully. So when I do virtual deals, maybe I should specify, when I have done virtual deals, they were joint ventures, always, always, always. So I'm not really sure how that'll go doing it all by yourself. You definitely could, but you would have to do some more research, more digging, and researching closing attorneys in that area, giving them a call. Hey, I have a couple of investment deals that I'm looking to do in your area. You seem to be a top performing attorney, but I just need to know a couple of things from you. Are you familiar with what an assignment is? Are you familiar with what a double close is? What's your attorney's fees? What are your costs and things like that? So you can interview closing attorneys yourself if you want to keep 100% of the profit and not, joint venture with somebody else who's already in that market. So you can definitely do a lot of the legwork yourself. The only thing that you wouldn't really be able to do is go and physically walk the property. But there's ways around that too. How do you value a property? Surf says, how do you value a property to put under contract? So it's all about the numbers, and you start kind of backwards. You start with the comps in the area, so comparable sales, and you're looking at what's called ARV, after renovation or after repair value. So you're looking at 3 or more homes that are similar square footage, within half a mile to 1 mile radius of your subject property, and you're seeing what they sold for recently within the last 6 months, 90 days, if you want to be, that particular, if it's a hot market. But in the last 6 months, 3 or more houses that were renovated and sold, take the average of those sold prices, and then you multiply it by 70%, 65, 75%, whatever your market calls for. And then you kind of work backwards. So basically, you start with the end in mind. You start with what this property could potentially sell for once it's all fixed up and ready. You subtract the discount that you're giving to your end buyers, and then you subtract the renovation cost, and then you subtract your fee, and that's what you offer. That's the value that you offer, the price that you offer to the seller. I hope that answered your question. Ooh, someone's from Hiram, Team Holt. What's up? Erica O. Williams, who were your mentors that you studied when getting into the industry? I had a local mentor here in Atlanta, and there were a lot of people. I joined a RIA group like kind of right off the bat, and so the guy who was running the RIA group was somebody who I shadowed in the beginning until I found my actual solid one-on-one mentor who I paid. Um, so yeah, they were here. They were local. A lot of guys in the industry, and I say guys because they were men. It's a male-dominated industry that were kind of like at the time what I thought were like top performers or whatever. That's who I kind of shadowed and studied under. But I really had honestly one mentor who taught me. I mean, I learned from everybody. I really have learned from a lot of people, especially when I was just starting out. But I had one mentor who gave me the whole system and helped me close my first deal from A to Z. And then outside of this market, like there are people who I study online, through YouTube and things like that. But I really have found a lot of value in the people who are here locally. Okay. Also, one thing I did not note, you guys, is that I wanted to jump on here for a lot of reasons. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I did a live. If you don't know, I do offer one-on-one consultations with people, 30-minute call, and ask me literally any question that you have. That booking information is always in the description of my videos as well, but it's also my name. It's very simple. It's daraabasute.as.me. And again, that link will be in this video. So I consult with people, but it's been a while since I did a live. The last time I did a live, I really want to say it was because I hit 3,000 subscribers. So that's crazy because now I'm almost at 7,500. So I really do thank you guys for rocking with me. People seem to really enjoy me and my content and things like that. So I just wanted to give back in this way. So normally, I say all that to say normally I have gone live for an hour. This time around, I could not give that much time. So we are going to have to wrap it up pretty soon. So sorry about that. And I know that a lot of you guys are brand new to me and my channel, brand new to my lives, and you've only seen my pre-recorded videos that I've uploaded. So I know that a lot of your questions you want answered, but I will tell you that a lot of the questions that I have already answered, I have videos for, I think, most of them. So definitely check those out too. Like I said, we'll try to answer a couple more here, but I will have to run shortly. Please, if you found any value in me in this quick little session and any of my videos that you ever watched, then definitely consider booking a consultation call with me because we can get one-on-one, kind of personal. And what I will say to that too is I've had a lady, a young woman call me, and she has a deal that I've been helping her through every step of the way. So if you want that type of one-on-one attention, you could be at the point where you are working on a deal. Most people, she's probably one of the few people who had a deal and like will follow up with me consistently with our calls. But most people have general questions like a lot of these. So that's fine too. So any level that you're at, whatever your level of investing, whether you just found out about it yesterday or whatever, you can definitely book a call with me, and I'm always happy to share very in-depth knowledge and answer your questions and things like that. Do I use Bandit signs? Vegan is the future. What's up, sis? Did you know I'm vegan too? And yeah, I'm gonna start a new channel too, guys. So I really want you guys to support that as well once that's up and running. I use Bandit signs for cash buyers and tenant buyers, but not for homeowners. Any experience with vacant land? Toya tackles deals. Yes, vacant land is a little tricky, but I have acquired. I flipped all. I currently own some land too, but land, you would have to value it in a few ways, depending on where it's located and what it's zoned for. The land that I've always only dealt with was residential, so I would look at new construction, like new built homes, and see what they sold for. What's the size of it? What's the size of the lot that new construction home sits on? And then compare it to the lot that I'm considering purchasing or wholesaling. And then you still work your numbers the same way. So whatever those homes sold for, you work it backwards, and you have to know obviously your construction costs will be way more because it's a new build. There's a lot that goes into land that a lot of people do not know, especially wholesalers. So unless you're willing to actually educate yourself on the intricacies of land and understanding that your buyer really needs real live due diligence when it comes to land, then I would maybe say just partner with somebody. I never want to discourage anybody from doing anything, so definitely it's possible for you to be new and get into land as a specialty, but I would partner with somebody who has done it before, partner with a developer who can actually show you the ropes, because with the land you have to get a survey, you have to get all the type of permitting, you have to get a soil test, you have to get a lot of different things that a wholesaler wouldn't normally know, and these are costs that are incurred by the buyer. It's not just a regular, like, you know, renovation cost or something like that. Tiffers J says, hello, other than list source, how do you, it went away, how do you get a list of foreclosures and other listings from the courthouse? I'm very new to this. I know that you can purchase lists of pre-foreclosures. As far as actual foreclosures, here in Atlanta, there is a newspaper where you go and buy the newspaper, and I think it comes out like the Friday before the auction or something like that, and then you get a list of all the properties that are going to be called to auction. So that's one way, and like you mentioned, you can go up to the courthouse and sift through the list that way. There's probate leads or list of probates at the courthouse. There's a lot of different things that a lot of people have been able to get from the courthouse. Like, I've heard of people getting, what do you call it, like water properties where they don't have water service turned on, and that will obviously tell you it's a vacant home, and things like that. Properties that are tax delinquent. So yeah, you can definitely ask around at your courthouse and see how you can get a list of foreclosures as well. You can partner with companies, again, because I'm not sponsored by anybody. I don't really want to name drop or say like companies that I'm not working with personally. So, but there are companies that host auctions, and if you partner or get in contact with them, they can tell you about foreclosure properties. Trust self. What is the origin of your last name? Nigerian, or not? Yeah, Nigeria. From Nigeria. All except for adding you to the buyer list. Hey Dara, I'm in a joint venture now in Atlanta, and I need to know how to find a buyer that is willing to venture out towards Macon. You just got to find Macon buyers. So I'm assuming that the deal that you have is in Macon. So you would need to, I would personally suggest you join Facebook groups for real estate investors down in Macon, and you'll find your cash buyers that way. Or Craigslist. All right, I'm going to do one more because I do have to run. Yeah, some of these questions, okay. I'm going to get this one because I think it's a little bit more useful for the class. So let's see. I thank you guys for all your kind words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here, I'm going to do this one. Oh, what did Ethel say? Who's Ethel? All right, so cool. Someone asked, how do you start sending direct mail? How do you start sending direct mail? So first you would have to have a list of, you know, mailing addresses that you want to send it to. And you would, I personally would suggest you use a third-party company to do the direct mail for you, as opposed to when I first got started, I literally did it all by hand. All of it. Writing the letters, writing the postcards, licking the stamp, and I would have a stack of hundreds of letters and just go to the mailbox and then dump it in there. But who has time for that? Nobody, right? So you can use this company, and I use them for postcards, and they have templates, and it saves your life. You don't have to write, you don't have to type, you don't have to think about anything. They have templates, pre-made templates, so you can customize it in a whole bunch of different ways. But first, the first thing, like I said, you would have to have a list of owners and mailing addresses, and then with that list, you take it to this company that I'm about to mention, and then it'll also be a link in the description. It's also in probably most of my other videos as well. It is an affiliate link, but the company is called 3D Mail Results. So the website is 3dmailresults.com/Dara. Go to them for your direct mailing needs, and they will get you right. Cool. All right, so for anybody who's just jumping on, I'm so sorry that you're just jumping on because this is the very end of the live call. I thank you for joining. You know, I really hope that I was able to answer most of the questions asked. I hope that some of the questions asked by one person help, you know, another person as well. I did mention that if you do want like one-on-one help and not a crowd of people like taking my attention with their different questions, then definitely book a consultation call with me. That is daraabasute.as.me. And I will have a link to all of that. So don't you fret. You're like, how do you spell Abasute? Oh my God. So I'll have a link to that in this live once it's up and loaded on my channel. And yeah, if you guys want to JV with me, if you're in Atlanta, if you want me to help you get a deal sold or whatever you want to do, you can connect that way. I won't give out that information right here. So just comment if you're in Atlanta, you have a deal or whatever, Macon, wherever you are. Somebody mentioned if I do virtual deals. I don't do anything outside of Georgia just yet. So unfortunately, I don't know, you guys can talk amongst yourselves and hopefully get some deals going that way. But this is the end. I really hate to go, guys, but you've been great. You've been wonderful. Thank you for rocking with me. These are fun for me. I don't know if you can tell, but these are fun for me. So I may consider going live a little bit more often. Like I said, the last time I went live was like I had it's when I hit my 3,000 subscriber mark. So that was like in the top of the year, I think. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I'm wearing this shirt though. I can't really see it. But I do have this shirt. It says, if I'm going to flip an ugly house, I'm going to make it look sexy. It's a Kendrick Lamar reference. But anyways, I do have other t-shirts. Literally everything regarding or related to real estate is, you can either find it in the description of every single one of my videos, or if you go on my channel, I have a lot of playlists, and I do that strategically to help you out. I make videos that are related to a certain topic. Like I have a whole bunch of videos just about cash buyers, how to find them, how to market to them, and I put them together in a playlist. I have a whole bunch of videos about estimating repairs, and I put them in a playlist, so you can just, all right, you finish this one, watch the next one. So make sure you peruse my channel, and you will hopefully get a lot of great content and value from it. So again, thank you guys. This is the longest goodbye I probably have ever done. So, no, you're from Italy. Stop playing. Stop playing, because I'm trying to go to Italy. But anyways, all right, guys, I'll see you. I will see you. I will see you later. Have a great day.